Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is John Colescott, Chief Investment Officer with Closed-End Fund Advisors, to discuss research, data analytics, and consulting for institutional investors and fund sponsors. John, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to be here.
And what is Closed-End Fund Advisors, and how did you come to create CEFD.com in 2011?
Absolutely. So Closed-End Fund Advisors is a 32-year-old registered investment advisory firm that I've been working at for over 20 years, and my dad has been in the sector for almost 40, though we recently retired. We had a partnership in the past with another data provider and really wanted the granularity of the closed-end fund data business to support our separate account work, our work for fund sponsors, our work with boards, and pretty much anyone in the ecosystem. And we decided eventually to go on our own, and in 2011 start our own internally managed data team covering the traditional closed-end fund structure. Over the course of time, we eventually added BDCs, or business development companies, to the set. It's about a 50 ticker symbol universe. And then later in 2018, there was more traction in non-listed closed-end funds, interval funds or tender offer funds, and we added those in 18 and 19 respectively. Along the way, it's about just under 700 ticker symbols, around $500 billion in gross asset exposure, with lots of investment options focused primarily on active management and solutions that are generally not as easily found in ETF or open-end fund wrappers.
What are some of the key data points and processes CEFData.com covers and uses to offer deep and granular data for clients?
Absolutely. So we have a lot of our data clients also have a Bloomberg terminal or FactSet or whatnot, and they found that we've really, as a best user of the data, the fact that we primarily use it for our own benefit, have focused really granularly on some of the discount measurements, some proprietary, some of the numerous expense ratio, whether it's gross or X expenses, really good leverage data because most closed-end funds are income focused and most closed-end funds employ leverage in numerous types. And then a lot of asset allocation exposure to what's available for investors and advisors to understand really what they own in the NAV of the fund. On top of that, we have really good data on tenders and rights offerings, other corporate governance issues. It's just a really nice breadth and focus on making sure it's the highest quality possible, the most timely, whether it's a back card, a SEC filing, or the fund sponsor's website, because there's a lot of differences in how many fund sponsors report information to shareholders.
And John, to wrap up here, who was CEFData's intended client base and how can they execute a successful investment thesis?
Absolutely. So the intended use case, even if an individual investor spends $1,000 a year to have granular historical data, we have almost a 10-year record. But the main use case is the advisors that want to add value to their book of business, to the hedge funds that whether they're more long focused or they're more market neutral or even quantitative. Closed-end fund activism is a long-standing, constant, and consistent part of the ecosystem, as well as the variance in the movements of net asset values and market prices. The relationships aren't always logical, but we can study them over time. The fact that we offer our data daily, weekly, and monthly based on your use case and your needs and price point and budget, it really allows those looking for the highest quality data in this space, whether it's the BDC, the closed-end fund, or even the non-listed funds, to truly employ the best options available for their needs with the most timely information, with the hard work of my data team and other folks that we work with. So it's really a mix of advisors, hedge funds, and even the fund sponsors themselves will buy the data for pure competitive analysis, whether expense ratio, performance, what's normal. When you have a news business to catch everything available, you tend to have a lot of perspective on what's happening across this large part of the universe that's been here for over 100 years.
All right, John, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Pleasure, Jill.